People rarely fear the darkness outside. They fear the darkness they discover inside themselves. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. If you're new here, welcome to Dark Mode Psychology. Make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss the deeper truths about human nature. Most people walk through life believing they are rational, kind, predictable beings. But the dark truth, is that human behavior is shaped far less by who we think we are, and far more by the things we never admit out loud. The impulses we bury, the fears we mask, the motives we dress up to look like something noble. Think about it. Have you ever wondered why someone can smile at you with warmth while secretly hoping you fail? Why a person can swear they love you, yet pull away the moment you get too close? Why we chase people who treat us poorly and ignore the ones who genuinely care? None of this makes logical sense, and yet every one of us has lived it. Humans are not naturally honest with themselves. We're naturally protective. Our minds guard us from truths that might make us feel fragile or exposed. And that protection is often disguised as behavior we can't explain. For example, the friend who suddenly distances themselves for no reason isn't always angry. Sometimes they're terrified that you'll eventually see the parts of them they've been hiding. So they sabotage the connection before you ever get close enough to discover the cracks. We think people pull away because of us. But more often, they pull away because of the battles they're losing inside themselves. There's a strange tension within human nature. We crave connection, yet we fear being truly seen. It's as if we want someone to understand us completely. But we panic at the idea of being understood too well. Because deep down, we know there are pieces of us we're not proud of. Pieces we've spent years pretending didn't exist. Sometimes the darkest truths are the ones we keep even from ourselves. Like the way jealousy shows up not because we hate someone, but because they remind us of who we wish we were. Or how anger isn't always about what someone did to us, but about what their actions forced us to confront within ourselves. People don't just hurt each other out of cruelty. They hurt each other when they feel powerless, threatened, or unseen. And ironically, those are the moments when they need understanding the most. Human behavior is a puzzle of contradictions. We want love, yet we test the very people who try to give it. We want respect, yet we downplay our worth. We want to be chosen, but we're terrified of depending on anyone. Why? Because vulnerability feels like danger, even when it comes from the safest hands. We'd rather pretend we don't care than admit how deeply we do. That pretense becomes behavior, coldness, distance, silence, when the truth underneath is softer and far more afraid. If you pay attention, you'll notice something unsettling. People rarely act based on the moment they're in. They act based on the moments they haven't healed from. Every person you meet is carrying a story, and that story is quietly steering them. The confident coworker who seems untouchable might be driven by an old fear of not being enough. The partner who needs constant reassurance might have lived through abandonment they never talk about. The friend who jokes about everything may be hiding loneliness they believe no one would understand. We like to assume behavior is random, but it's not. Humans are reacting to wounds, memories, insecurities, most of which they've never said out loud. And sometimes, not even they know what's driving them. If you've ever been confused by someone's actions, here's something to remember. People don't show you who they are. They show you what they're protecting. And the more erratic the behavior, the deeper the fear behind it. There's a reason emotional distance feels so cold. It's the mind's emergency exit. When someone feels overwhelmed by love, by expectations, by the possibility of loss, they instinctively pull back to stop themselves from feeling too much. It looks like indifference, but it's actually a defense mechanism, one they may not even know they're using. The dark truth is that fear shapes far more of our behavior than we realize. Fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, fear of losing control, fear of wanting someone who might never want us back. And maybe the deepest fear of all, the fear that if we show our real selves, we'll be misunderstood or abandoned. But here's the twist. Everyone around you is afraid too. Even the strong ones. Even the distant ones. Even the ones who pretend they don't feel anything. And because everyone is afraid, Everyone behaves in ways that don't always make sense. If you've ever felt confused by your own behavior, you're not broken. You're human. Humans hide, humans protect, humans run from the things they want most. Humans sabotage what feels too good. Humans destroy what they don't know how to hold. But humans also heal if they become aware of their patterns. Awareness is the beginning of power, because once you recognize why people behave the way they do, including yourself, you stop taking things so personally. You start seeing what's beneath the reactions. And suddenly, the world makes a little more sense. There's something oddly freeing about understanding the darkness in human behavior. It doesn't make the world scarier. It makes it clearer. You stop expecting perfection. You stop assuming malice where there is only fear. You stop chasing people who aren't ready. And you stop blaming yourself for the connections that collapse under the weight of unspoken wounds. The truth is simple. Everyone has a shadow. Some hide it. Some reveal it. Some let it control them. But the moment you learn to see your own, you begin to understand everyone else's. And that understanding changes the way you move through the world. You stop reacting blindly. You start responding intentionally. You stop running from yourself. You start becoming someone who sees the world not through fear, but through clarity. Human behavior will never be predictable, but it will always be explainable if you're willing to look beneath the surface. And maybe that's the real dark truth. The more you understand people, the harder it becomes to judge them. If you found this eye-opening, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more insights from Dark Mode Psychology.